Welcome back. I'm so glad you're here in the she shed with me. This is what I use to keep my family healthy in the cold and flu season. It's fast, it's cheap, it's easy, and it's yummy. You're gonna love it. The first ingredient we need is elderberries. Second, chokeberries, also known as aronia berries. Then cinnamon and clove to spice it. We are using elderberries because you just can't beat its antiviral properties, specifically against influenza and corona. Aronia berries, a little lesser known berry, are also great at boosting your immune system. They have more antioxidants in them than blueberries, more vitamin A and C and fiber than elderberries, and they're also shown to reduce oxidative stress markers in your blood. What's not to love? They look a little like blueberries, they hang in clusters like this, and they ripen about the same time as elderberries. So get yourself some aronia berries if you can. We're going to use cinnamon because it has amazing antibacterial, antidepressant, and antifungal properties. Clove also has anti-infectious properties, anti-parasitic properties, and it can boost the respiratory system. I picked these aronia berries and elderberries a couple of days ago and then froze them until I had time to make syrup. You can see how easily they roll off the stems now that they're frozen. I'm going to use about equal parts elderberries and aronia berries, but you can use whatever ratio you'd like. I'm pouring them into a saucepan with a little bit of water in it to keep them from burning. I'll make a small batch today so that you can see how easy the process is. There's usually some leaves and twigs still to pull out at this point. I'm going to add 1, 2, 3, 4 sticks of cinnamon because I love it, and a tablespoon of clove. This pot needs just a little bit more water so that the cinnamon sticks float. How much will depend on your size of pot. Here is about 2 cups. I simmer that for 30 to 45 minutes, and once it's done, I let it sit for another half hour. Then I'm going to pull out the cinnamon sticks and use an immersion blender. This makes a thicker finished product, which my kids like. Once it gets all frothy, I pour it into a mesh strainer. I'm not the kind of person to get every tiny drip out of this medicine. If you like to do that, you might want to put this into a handkerchief or an old t-shirt or a jelly bag in order to catch every drip. Once the pulp is dried to your liking, you can toss that into the compost and pour your leftover syrup into another container. Because we need to be able to see about how much you have so that we can add the same amount of honey. We're going to use equal parts juice to equal parts honey. My honey is always a little bit crystallized, so I'm going to put it back into the pan to warm it up just a little bit so that it incorporates well with the juice. I don't want it to burn, so I'm going to keep it on low. Now the syrup is done. Pour it into whatever container you want to leave it in for long-term storage. In my family, we take about a spoonful every day to stay healthy. And if somebody does come down with something, we'll usually bump that up to 4 or 5 times a day. Due to the sweetness of this remedy and the great texture that they love, it's never hard to get my kids to take it. In fact, they usually remind me. Okay, who's ready for elderberry syrup? I hope you give my recipe a try. I swear it's the very best that I've found after years of doing it. If you can't find any elderberries near you, I would be happy to send you some. So give me a comment down below and I will get you some dried berries in the mail. When you come up against a limiting challenge, choose freedom.